Welcome to 2020. It's Wednesday, January 1st, and this is SportsBeat KC presented by Big O Tires. I'm your host, Blair Kerkhoff. Today's topic, Chiefs. We have for you a couple of interviews conducted this week. First, you'll hear from quarterback Patrick Mahomes, who met the media on Monday. He, like everyone else associated with the team, was grateful for the way things unfolded Sunday, with the Chiefs putting the finishing touches on the LA Chargers while the Miami Dolphins were upsetting the New England Patriots. Those outcomes meant a week of rest for the Chiefs as the number 2 seed in the AFC playoffs. They'll watch this weekend's games and will know by Saturday night their opponent in the divisional round next Sunday at Arrowhead Stadium. Later, you'll hear an interview conducted by star columnist Vahe, Gregorian, and myself with a couple of huge Chiefs fans, actors David Koechner and Riggle. They stopped by on Sunday morning before the game to promote this summer's Big Slick event and discuss the depths of their Chiefs fandom. I think you'll enjoy. First, here's Patrick Mahomes, who you might notice is battling a cold.
Patrick, I just asked Andy about the possibility of Eric Bieniemy maybe moving on and becoming a head coach. I know you've been in support of him throughout the season, but how much do you and the rest of your teammates talk about the possibility of him maybe earning a head coaching spot and what that would mean for you guys to know that you were part of his success that elevated him to that next step in his career?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously see it. You see the stuff on Twitter and things like that. We don't necessarily talk about it, and maybe until probably after the season and everything like that. But we understand kind of how football works, and when you get a guy like EB who puts in the time, who is a great leader of players and men, and someone that can really control and have a presence in any room that he walks in, you understand why these other teams are looking at him to be their head coach. And so we obviously are focused on our goal right now, but we know with who he is and how he operates that he'll have the opportunities to go places and continue to have success.
You said something after the game yesterday. You said the way you guys have been winning during the 6-game winning streak is maybe better than the way you guys had to win games last year. Can you elaborate on that, what you meant by that, why you feel that way?
I think it's just a different variety of ways of winning is the biggest thing this year. Is we've won games, obviously, putting up points and doing those different things this year, but we've won games where the defense has stepped up and kind of controlled the game for us. And so for us, it's about when you get to the playoffs, not every game's the same, and we've found ways to win different ways.
What tells you that you do need a big number of points in a playoff game, that you guys are still capable of doing that?
Yeah, I think just the guys that we have. I mean, you have Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, McCole Hardman, Sammy Watkins, Damien Williams, all these guys that can make 80-yard touchdowns happen within a couple seconds. You know that if we need to, we can call upon that and find ways to score points.
Is there anything that you learned from the bye week last year that you maybe want to do again, or maybe even a little differently now that you have it again?
Yeah, I think just staying focused is the biggest thing. Obviously, Coach Reed does a good job of preparing us, giving us the right amount of time off, but at the same time, keeping us in the building and keeping us preparing for whoever we get to play. And I think the biggest thing about this week is making sure that you're fundamentally at the right point. I mean, as seasons go on, you start losing some fundamentals there at the end there. And so having this week, we can kind of go back, look at ourselves, and really focus on the fundamentals and prepare ourselves so that whoever we get to play, that we're ready with how we prepare ourselves and then get to prepare against other teams.
Do you watch film of all three defenses, or will you maybe just work on fundamentals and then wait to see who this ends up being?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of watch film of each team, just try to get a kind of a baseline of what they're doing. Other than the Bills, we've played the Texans and we've played New England, so we kind of have that experience, obviously. But with that, you kind of just go back, watch those games, and then you watch a little bit of the Bills too at the same time. But you really focus on yourself, I think, mostly, and focus on preparing yourself that way.
I remember last year, Patrick, you guys being the 1 seed, you kind of benefited from the first playoff game where the Colts won and you knew that was going to be your opponent. Is it similar to it was where it's going to be last year, where I think you took time to watch that game live not in person, but live on television, and is Saturday sort of blocked off in the same manner where because you don't know which team you're going to play, you might watch both games the way most fans do?
Yeah, I'll definitely watch probably all the games, honestly. I mean, I'm kind of just a football fan like that and just see what's going on. But obviously, you're going to watch those games that are important to who you're going to get to play and try to focus on those. And then whenever you figure it out, watch as much film as possible in order to prepare yourself, in order to have the best opportunity to go out there and find a way to win.
Do you watch those games with teammates or here at the facility? Like, how do you just sit back at your place by yourself watching? How do you do that?
I'll probably be at my house watching those games. I'll invite the guys. If they want to come over, they can come.
Do you watch those games as a fan, or are you kind of honing in on quarterback play specifically?
I think that the more and more experience I've gotten in this league, I'm still watching as a fan and watching the games, but I recognize stuff quicker, and I'm able to kind of see how teams are attacking other teams, and just from my experiences and stuff like that. And I think that just comes with knowledge of the game.
Patrick, in regards to Larry being a doctor, you understand the devotion this job requires, dedication. How remarkable is it that you guys are able to have a second life and do this?
I mean, it's crazy, honestly, for him to be able to still go to school and get his doctorate degree and everything like that. I mean, it really is with how much time you have to put into this facility in order to be as productive as he's been on the football field, and then to have the off seasons and in his spare time to still go and be very productive in other aspects of life. I mean, it really is a tremendous honor for him to be able to just do that and get that doctorate degree.
Did it develop maybe confidence with McColl as the season went along? Was it there always? Because on that 3rd and 7 play, you had a big catch in a big moment that ended up, really getting the offense jump-started. When's that confidence? When did that develop, and has it been?
Yeah, I mean, I've obviously known that he can make big plays happen, and for me, it was all about him just figuring out the offense and how he fit into the offense and how he was able to stay on time and still use his speed and be effective. And I think I've just built that chemistry with him throughout the season, and I always have confidence in any guy on this team making plays. And so whenever they're open and they're given their opportunities, I'm going to throw them the ball. And so I think you saw that in my first start when I threw it to Sherm down the sideline. I'm going to throw it to whoever's open.
In regards to McColl, how have you specifically seen him develop as a player from the beginning of the season?
Yeah, I think it's just, like I said, the knowledge of the offense. I think he understands more now that when he's running a route where he can kind of adjust and make adjustments. On that route that he ran yesterday, he was kind of supposed to kind of take the top off the defense, but he knew with the safety plan as deep as he was and where the other guys were throughout the routes that he could flatten it across his face and give himself a chance to make a play. And so stuff like that, which seems so little, but whenever you understand what everyone else is doing on the offense and what everyone else's routes are, you can help get yourself open and still be on time with the quarterback.
If your steering wheel has more traction than your actual tires, that's a big O no. Thankfully, for all your car's big O no's, there's always a big O yes. Now through February 2nd, buy 3, get 1 free on select sets of 4 Aspen Touring AS or Mesa AP2 brand tires with paid installation purchase. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Disposal fees extra and up to 10% shop fee based on non-discounted regular retail price not to exceed $35 where permitted. See store for pricing. Eligibility may vary. Not valid with other offers. At participating locations, no cash value.
Hey, it's Blair. Hey, we have a special subscription offer for SportsBeat KC listeners, unlimited digital access to the Kansas City Star's award-winning sports coverage. Sign up now for 1 year of Sports Pass for access to all the sports news, features, and columns we have to offer. And it's only $30. That's a 40% savings off our regular rate. For your convenience, your subscription will automatically renew after the initial term at $50 unless you tell us to cancel. A lot of subscription services won't tell you that. They'll just sneak it on there. We just told you. Your subscription helps support the sports coverage of kansascity.com and the Kansas City Star. Please visit kansascity.com/SportsBeatKC offer to get this special offer. And as always, thanks for listening.
Welcome to a bonus edition of Red Zone Extra on Facebook Live. We are here to help we're going to talk about Big Slick. And we're going to talk about the Chiefs. We got Dave Koechner here, the pride of Tipton, Missouri, and as you can tell by his jacket, a huge Chiefs fan.
A little bit. I like them.
Custom made?
Well, I'd love to say, yeah, sure, why not? I'll say it's custom made. Nobody knows if it's a lie. I'll just say that. I'll say this. It fits. So that means it's custom made?
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, you've known him as Champ Kind. You've known him as Todd Packer. You've known him from Saturday Night Live. It's great to have you here.
Pleasure.
Look, Big Slick, June 5th and 6th this year, right? Softball game at Kauffman Stadium. Right. Bowling at Pinstripes the next day. The big event at Sprint Center that night. David, when did you get involved with Big Slick, and how did that start for you?
The first year, Rob Riggle and Jason Sudeikis and Paul Rudd had put it together, and they were just doing a poker tournament at one of the casinos. I couldn't go the first year because my niece was getting married the same weekend. But I've known Rob for a very long time, so he knew I was from the area. His parents actually grew up in Bunston, Missouri. This young lady's talking about Monotone County. So, we have that. We have that geographical familial relationship. They call it cousins or friends that are family. So anyway, he actually next year, and then I think the third year they say, well, here's what would happen. Every year I'd be there that I wasn't a host. Anytime there's a lull, because they're still figuring out the first couple years.
Right.
They'd hand me the mic and say, Koechner, go stall for a while. So I tend to run my mouth, folks. And so anytime there's, between events at the time, they'd put old loudmouth on a microphone, like, all right, cover, we'll figure it out as we go. So I think they saw some value in that just my volume, really, not what I had to say. So,
well, we love the college angle here. You're Mizzou. We got KU and K-State represented.
And we really shouldn't. It's really unwanted.
Big Ten, though.
Yeah. Big Ten. Thank you.
So what do you think about these Chiefs?
Wow, it just keeps getting better. We had that little hitch in the middle of the season, but that's the right time to have it. At this time of the year, every team has some deficiencies somewhere for one reason or the other, but we seem to be very strong right now. So I don't know. I'm a fan too, so you can't help but think we're in great shape.
How far back does your allegiance to them go?
It really does go back to December 1971, December 25th. I'm 9 years old. I'm in my grandmother's living room in Tipton, Missouri. My cousins from Stillwell, Kansas, are there, and we're watching the game. And as it turns out to be a historical game, so that was the first memory I have of sitting watching with all the family and that very long game, which we all know didn't turn out right because the Dolphins cheated. A lot of people don't know that. But I'd like to, years later, add a controversy, people are like,
right.
And then it becomes part of what they believe?
Yeah, that's right. It's out there now.
Misinformation. We lost the game, but yeah.
Dave, it is great to have you here. Thanks so much for stopping by. I think you're going over there.
Okay. I go where I'm told at this point.
Okay. Good to see you, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great to see you.
Right on.
Yeah.
Go Chiefs.
Okay, thanks. Rob, yes, we are on. We're live. And hi, Guys Works.
Hey.
Good to see you. Good to see you,
Hey,
sir.
Rob. Nice to see you. Vahe. Good to see you again.
Rob Riggle is here. And just as we had the pride of Tipton, Missouri just a moment ago, we've got the pride of Shawnee Mission South, not to be confused with the other Shawnee Missions that are represented in Big Slick.
Fine schools indeed, but not Shawnee Mission South.
That's right. Hey, so when we had Dave here, we talked about Big Slick and how it got started, and we kind of ran down this year's schedule too. June 5th and 6th, same lineup, not same lineup, but same activity schedule for sure. How about the lineup? Any insights on who might be coming this year?
Well, I can't give away too much yet, but I've been working the phones and doing some quid pro quo in a good way. Doing other people's charity events in the hopes that they'll come do our charity events. So
there we go.
I'm optimistic. I think we're going to have some really fun people, and we're going to have some great entertainment.
$10 million this is raised for Children's Mercy Hospital. Incredible. It actually kind of replaced the Tom Watson Golf Challenge that went on for like 25 years in the 80s and the 90s.
God bless them.
And you guys have just done an amazing job. So we asked Dave, I want to ask you, when did your Chiefs fandom begin? What's the origin of that?
I mean, my whole life. I can't remember ever a time not wearing the red and gold. So I think my first game was 1975. My dad and our neighbors came. Our neighbors had tickets and brought my dad and I, and it was one of the best experiences I can remember. Especially, the first time you see a big league field, whether it's baseball or football, the size and the scope of it to a 5-year-old is amazing. And then that was it. Then I was hooked. I was in.
Rob, like everybody, I know you're enthralled with Patrick Mahomes. I wonder how he's changed how you look at the team's possibilities and what you think about this year's team.
I love this year's team, and of course he changes everything. So if we can build around him, which we are, I love our chances. Look, every year I go to Vegas and I bet on the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl before the season even starts. I've yet to cash that ticket. I actually think this year I might cash that ticket in. Here's the ironic part. I probably wouldn't even cash the ticket. I'll probably frame it if we did win. No, I do. I love the Chiefs' chances. We've been winning on the road. We're 7-1 on the road. Right. So going to play a playoff game on the road doesn't scare me at all. If we're healthy going into the playoffs, peaking at the right time is key, and I think that's what we're doing.
Will you try to get on the road with them in the playoffs if it comes to that?
I would definitely try. I don't know if my schedule will let me, but yeah, if they make it to an AFC Championship again, or I'll be at the Super Bowl anyway. So let's do this thing.
That's right. Also, the Fox NFL Sunday bit, those are hilarious. So last week shared it with Eric Stone Street. That was the Eagles Cowboys game. That was fantastic. And you got a bit of rock chalk in you as well.
I do.
How about KU tipping off at 2:00 today?
Yeah.
At Stanford during the Chiefs game.
It's typical West Coast stuff. No consideration for us back here. That's classic Stanford. I am a Jayhawk fan. Obviously, I graduated from KU, so I'm very proud of them. And I like that team too. I think they got a very strong team. And I never sweat it when you lose a game like to Villanova or whatever. Right. You're number one and it goes away. That's perfect. It's a long season. All that matters, get to March healthy, we'll be golden.
Super Bowl Final Four this year, I think, for you.
Yeah, this sounds like a really good deal.
Rob, when you think about Patrick, what is it that stands out to you? And this might be a little bit forced, but somebody told me a few months ago about how he seems like he has a bit of improv sort of comedy attitude in him. And I just wonder, is there a correlation with improv and Patrick at all that you see?
Well, I mean, I don't think there's any direct link between comedy. Yeah. But I definitely think he is a creative mind. I definitely think he creates things, not only like a broken play or whatever, but whatever he sees out there, he's always making it up. A lot of it, you have a plan, but the defense has a vote in that plan. A lot of times it gets screwed up, and so you have to adjust. And he is one of the best at adjusting on the fly. And he's got all the physical skills to make that happen. So, yeah, I'd say he's an improv genius.
Rob, we can't thank you enough for stopping by and talking to us. And for Vahe Gregorian and Beth Welsh, behind the spinning the dials, thank you very much.
That'll do it for the first SportsBeat KC podcast of 2020. Thanks for listening, and thanks to Derek Donovan and Randy Mason for producing the episode. The latest Chiefs coverage is available in the show notes on kansascity.com and the Red Zone Extra app. We'll be back on Thursday with another episode of SportsBeat KC presented by Big O Tires, where we talk sports in Kansas City every day.